In the last newsletter, I promised to share some backstory on how the Waschii came into existence. And ironically, the situation I'm in right now, I've got a broken down. I'm in this garage waiting for a repair. In my life, I was sort of broken down when I came up with the Waschii. I had blown out my back. I had been working, driving people to appointments and stuff in a vehicle for people with mobility issues and cognitive issues. And I was working so many hours just to distract myself. I was hiding from the feelings that I had in association with getting divorced and shutting my business down, etc. And I just blew my back out because I was driving too much and I was out of shape. I was fat. It was a bad scene. And in fact, my leg stopped working and I ended up not being able to work at that job anymore. And in the process of trying to rehab my back, I was pedaling my bike back and forth to the swimming pool, and it was a big process every day to pack the stuff up and put it on the bike and get down to the swimming pool, and I had been storing my swimsuit in this small bag that came out of a protein powder container, and so that it wouldn't get my other stuff wet when I was coming back from the swimming pool, and one day I forgot to take it out and clean it when I got home, and so the next day when I went to the swimming pool, maybe a couple days later, it was gross. The swimming suit was really gross, and it was so much work to get to the swimming pool that I was like, I'm going swimming no matter what. And then I just thought that, okay, what if I add a little soap to this container and then agitate it, and it came out really clean. Sometime after that, I started looking to figure out how I was going to live my life with much less income and this debilitating back situation. So I started looking at less expensive economies to move to. So I went to northern Thailand and was exploring that area, thinking that maybe I might move there because things were much less expensive there. And the one thing that was holding me back, which turned out to be an advantage later, was I couldn't even carry more than, like 5 or 6 kilograms in my backpack. So I was using a 16-liter backpack to carry everything. And when I was doing this, it created a logistical problem, because if you have just 2 changes of clothes and you're in Southeast Asia, there aren't really laundromats there. There's laundry services, which are great and inexpensive, but it usually takes 36 hours to get everything back. So if you only got 2 changes of clothes and you send stuff to them, by the time that one change of clothes comes back, the other one's dirty. So I started using the first version Waschii to take care of all my clothes with this sort of traveling with a 16-liter backpack philosophy. And I met a bunch of people in Chiang Mai, Thailand, a lot of very well-established digital nomads that were living their lives out of a 40-liter backpack, and they were, making good money, doing all kinds of things like drop shipping or marketing, all kinds of cool things. And I thought, wow, there's a tribe here that I can connect with. There's some people that like to live light for all of their accoutrements or all the things around them, but they like to have a really enjoyable life. And I thought, okay, this will help those people and myself. It'll help us to have a nice life without a lot of crap. And so it evolved, and so now, of course, you can see me. I'm traveling around Europe most of the time in my camping car. My uniform is merino wool t-shirts. I've got like 2 of those, and 2 pairs of socks and 2 pairs of underwear, and they don't get stinky fast. I can clean them anytime I want, and they come out great. And it's really liberating. Like, I can go on an airplane for extended travel with just my messenger bag, nothing else. And I've got everything I need. I can go to, dance conventions with, what I'm wearing, an extra shirt, an extra pair of socks and underwear, and it all fits in my little messenger bag. And so it's liberating to take away the need to carry lots of clothing with me wherever I go. So yeah, adding this extra value to my life of having more capacity to do more with less is really cool. Like, I really like the tiny house thing. I've done a bunch of conversions. I converted my garage in my house to an apartment to live in, just to use the smaller space, which was more comfortable for me. And the rest of the house I rented out. Now I'm living in my camping car, doing the van life thing. So there's a lot of sort of elements of my story and my life that connect me to people like you who are part of my tribe. You're here because you like this idea of this minimal sort of approach. And for me, that's super important, to not waste more energy than is necessary, not to take more than you need, to, eat as much as you want, but you don't have to eat more than that, It's just sort of a philosophy of, taking or using what is going to be sufficient without overindulging. And then this way, the enjoyment of life is greater, because when we're chasing things, we're always chasing. But when we're happy with what we have, like with my 2 merino wool t-shirts, my camping car, the freedom to go to dance events and do things like that. If I'm happy with that, I'm happy, But if I'm out trying to take over the world and make billions of dollars, I'm always going for more and more, a fancier car, a bigger house, all kinds of stuff. And that doesn't really fit with what's important to me. And I'm guessing it doesn't fit with what's important to you. So thank you very much for coming on this journey with me. And that's some backstory that will give you some idea how this came about. So thank you so much.